Hey there, and welcome back to the 60 and More Crowd podcast, episode 4, Working Longer, Survey Says. This is your host, Sue, speaking to you from Canada. It's nice to be back with you for another episode. Today, we're digging into something a lot of us are living, the decision to keep working, whether you've hit your 60s, 70s, or more, and you aren't ready to stop. Perhaps you've retired only to find yourself back on the job. You're not alone. Turns out, both trends are on the rise globally. This is a generation where many people say they intend to work into their 70s or longer, more than any prior generation. In case you're listening to this podcast for the first time, I share my why for creating this podcast. As an older worker myself, this is a topic I really connect with. Like many people, I wanted to remain connected to the workforce in some way after leaving my long-time sales and marketing career. My experience as an older worker while learning and adapting to the new workplace dynamics inspired me to create this podcast from ground level. This is an ongoing learning project as the podcast digs into this multi-layered topic. As always, listener feedback, welcome. Stories, experiences, questions about your working journey. The show email is feedback@60andmorecrowdpodcast.com. Please pass this podcast on to many others who may be interested or wanting to stay informed. Now let's get to today's episode. Working Longer, Survey Says. These 60 and More Crowd podcast episodes are short on the go, episodes less than 10 minutes. So let's get to today's topic. Older workers are redefining the modern workplace, bringing experience, adaptability, and fresh perspectives that bring value to the marketplace. We'll take a look at recent surveys and key takeaways with surveys from Canada, United States, and Europe. People are choosing to work longer for a few reasons. It's a generation that is redefining what it means and what it would like to see to stay active in the workplace so they can hold on to their jobs longer. Let's take a look at some of the key trends that are popping up, and we'll start with Canada first. The idea of unretirement seems to be making a comeback as more Canadians find themselves under economic stress, inflation, cost of living. Many who are approaching retirement age are delaying their exit from the workforce. A recent 2025 HOOP Canadian Retirement Survey found that 66% of Canadians expect to continue to work past traditional retirement age. Many said this choice is due to economic pressures. The concept of a full retirement stop is very challenging for people to consider. Keeping a work chapter can also add to your life, staying active, structure, social engagement, and purpose. Organizations are recognizing the value of experienced workers and are exploring options to accommodate older employees, such as flexible work arrangements. Many Canadians will face years of unretirement. To keep potential older workers engaged in the workforce, an option is ongoing training. The C.D. Howe Institute recommends offering older workers opportunities like digital and technological skills and job search strategies. Now let's move to the United States. Higher clicks, state of retirement, and today's workforce survey. For today's workforce, it's less about stopping work altogether and more about designing a flexible next work chapter. Here are some of the key insights. Retirement at 65 is no longer the finish line. Only 32% of people expected to retire at age 65. 63% are interested in part-time work for income fulfillment and ongoing learning. 48% of survey respondents say recent economic shifts have forced them to reconsider when or how they retire, signaling demand for a more adaptable unretirement. Unretirement. 1 of 8 retirees plan to go back to work in 2025. That's from a Resume Builder survey statistic. Europe. The European Commission is actively working on policies and initiatives to support older workers in the EU labor market. This includes addressing the challenges of an aging workforce, promoting active aging, and ensuring fair treatment, equal opportunities for older individuals. Here are some key insights. Between now and 2030, most EU countries will see their share of older workers increase to 55% of their overall labor force. Many countries in the EU are actively improving incentives to encourage working at an older age, including working past the retirement age. Working longer makes good economic sense. It not only helps counteract the shrinking workforce, it also increases people's purchasing power. And finally, decision makers should ensure that the workplace of tomorrow is flexible, age-friendly, and open to phased retirement. You can't use an old map to navigate new paths. In today's episode, we explored key takeaways from recent worker surveys and reports. The message is clear. Workplaces must evolve as more people choose to stay longer in the workforce. So how are organizations adjusting their policies and environments to support this shift? The conversation is to be continued. These are early days of the 60 More Crowd podcast, and I'm excited to see where this journey leads. Thanks for listening. In the spirit of the 60 More Crowd podcast, new ways forward.